when I can go. I'll be watching for you. Are you ready to go now?
Yes, that's
Happy days.
Have you tweeted this out?
I haven't tweeted this out.
Oh shit, I haven't started recording either.
Oh shit! And we're off to a cracking start. Hello, everybody.
Recording in progress.
Yeah,
There
go
it
now.
is.
I'm recording.
Hello, and welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern, episode 36. We decided 36th. Another lovely Sunday evening. And joined once again by Graham.
Hello.
Ian.
Hello.
Ross.
Hello.
And Daniel.
Hello, darling.
How are we all, gentlemen?
I was
Very
great
good.
until somebody started saying it was coming home.
It's coming home, apparently. There's something.
You know it's coming
Something's coming home.
Yeah.
Ross, did you know it's coming home?
I can't wait for the Danish to skill.
So, while we're on the subject, we've got a community question this week. Our good friend Sweeney said, "Is it coming home?" Ross.
Yes, it is.
Ross, is it coming home?
Viva l'Italia.
Yeah.
He might have got this confused. So it's not Ross, the Scottish have gone home. It's coming home. All right.
Ross, I'm on your side. I can give two rats ass about the football, so I'll stick with you. Next week, if England make the final, just be me and you. We'll record a show. It'll be the best show ever. We'll talk about arcade games and everything.
Damn right. We will have a 2-hour show for Time Crisis and House of the Dead.
It's coming home. It's coming
Oh
home.
my god.
It's
Oh,
coming.
What have we begun?
Football.
All right, football. Video games. Video games sometimes have football in them,
No.
and sometimes they don't. Preferably not. All right. Quick bit of housekeeping for everybody. You can find us on Apple Podcasts as usual, as well as Spotify and various other podcast services. Just search Xbox Tavern, and you will find our lovely logo and our lovely voices. We also record as we are right now on YouTube every Sunday night at around 8 p.m. ish, probably a little bit later than 8 p.m. by the time we get all of our shit out of the way. And you can find us there at youtube.com/Xbox Tavern official. You can find our official site at xboxtavern.com, where you'll find all our written stuff, which is lovely. And you can also find us on Twitter at Xbox Tavern. So feel free to hit us up. We just had a poll going on, which got a good amount of traction, voting for our new Project Game Pass game, which we shall discuss shortly. And then one final quick plug. Insert Coin, my lovely new Hello Darling t-shirt. Oh, Dan, that's a lovely t-shirt you've got there.
Yeah, it looks familiar. Hello, darling.
Yes. Hello, darling. And my new Fall Guys beanie finally turned up. I don't know if you remember my woes last week that I regaled you with. I sent it to my old address like a twat.
And you gave it back to you?
And they, Insert Coin, were very kind to resend my order. And they even refunded me some money because I had to change one of the items. So thank you, Insert Coin.
Oh.
You're the best. And I've
what-
got it. Go on.
I was going to say, what promotional code did you use again?
I think it was Xbox Tavern 20 for 20% off. Why?
Yes.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. Why not do it? Buy some merch. Do it.
And one final thing, it's coming home.
To the
And-
correct home. To the correct home.
Can I just ask a very silly question, and then we will go past this? Isn't there one more game before they get to the final?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they still got to win against whoever it
Yes,
is
they
next.
still
Yeah.
going to beat the Danish, but in typical fucking England had won the tournament before a ball had been kicked.
Cool. Well, again, Ross, if for some reason they do get to the final, it would just be me and you next week.
Only major international footballing competition where one team's got to play at their home ground for 95% of their games, might I add as well.
Yeah.
That's
Don't be
because
jealous.
people knew it was already home. It just
Exactly.
That's it.
it's a
Don't
short
keep us
distance
home.
to travel.
Don't be sour just because you got knocked out of the groups.
Yeah, I'm just fucking shocked we made it to the tournament. I was fucking blown away by that.
Yeah. You drew with us 0-0. That's
Yeah,
fair.
you're the only one that took a point of us, technically.
I'm right.
And the score against us,
and
though.
that's something we can all be proud of. All right, video games.
You can say you drew the winners.
Jesus Christ, video games, Ian.
Grace the same pictures as the winners. Right, let's
Fuck
go.
off.
Coming home.
Can we just kick him out now until the
Please,
football's over and done with?
please.
Yeah, nice. All right, there's some news that's not football related. Thank fuck for that. In fact, there's some news that's horror related. Ian, I know you like a bit of horror. You massive pansy. Have you started the medium yet?
No, but I did start what's it called? The new Man in Dark Pictures one. What's it called?
Oh yeah,
Little Hope.
Little Hope. Thank you.
That's it, Little
Fantastic
Hope.
game.
I did the training tutorial, the first opening scene
The
with the
opening
house.
section. Nice. And how you find it so far?
I went on the house bit, and that was cool. We can do much in it though. We just walk around, and then
Are you doing it on your own or in co-op?
things
with someone?
happened. I'm doing it on mine, but Mrs. wants to play with me, so
Hmm.
I might do the Mrs.
Yeah. Well, I've been itching to have another playthrough, so I can do it through with you.
I'd
Again at
rather
some
play
point.
with someone who knows how to do quick time events.
Oh fuck you! Right. Okay. Konami.
Wait a minute,
Army.
on that
Oh.
part, you don't have to worry about the quick time events. You can turn them off because my wife and quick time events are.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather make Ian
I
suffer.
trust my wife than quick time events than Jamie,
I'd rather
especially
make
after
Ian
the last
suffer.
one.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Anyway.
Press
we'll
A.
get back-
Which is A?
We'll
Oh,
get
yeah.
back to that. I play so many different consoles. A's all over the place, isn't it?
You can also set it so that it's only ever one button as well. So if you leave the quick time
Nah,
events on,
that sounds
you
like
can
cheating.
set it
That's
it's
too much.
only
That's
one.
too hard work for Jamie.
That sounds like cheating. I'd rather it just play itself. Anyway, horror. Other people who do horror, Konami apparently, they make loads of games, don't they? Well, not really anymore. Turds, but they're bringing back supposedly some sort of game with Bloober Team, who made the Medium and the Observer, and there was another one. What was it? Blair Witch,
Yes.
which supposedly was quite good as well.
Good
So yeah,
story.
they've partnered with Konami, as I said, for a strategic cooperation agreement, which is a very businessy way of saying we're going to team up and make something. And a quote from them is from, oh God, Piotr Babiano. I'm going to say that's how his name is. He says, "It's a historic day for me and the culmination of several years of our work. The fact that such a renowned company as Konami has decided to strategically cooperate with the Bloober Team means that we also join the world's leaders in gaming and become an equal partner for leading the players in this market." That's a very businessy way of saying we done good. But the rumors going are that it's going to be a new Silent Hill based game, if not a new one in the mainline series, possibly an offshoot or something. So with all the other rumors about Silent Hill and Kojima and what they call Blue Box Studios and stuff, is
Didn't
anybody
they also make Pez football?
Konami do? Yeah,
Konami do, yeah.
No,
yeah, but not Bloober Team.
oh, football.
The
It's coming out.
Oh, fucking hell. Why didn't I see that coming? I should have seen that coming and steered it away.
Don't say
very
the word
quickly.
coming. You're just setting them up, man. Please, God's
It's coming
sake.
to where, Jamie?
Ah.
As he swallows a good drink of his drink to go. Oh,
So,
Oh,
K-
Literally, I
Konami,
would say to Jamie, where's this coming?
Konami are coming home to video games.
Hey.
So, does anybody like Silent Hill? Who here is a fan of the Silent Hill series?
Massive Silent Hill fan. Best video game horror genre, or best video game horror that you can buy.
Let's not get carried away now, but yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
Resident Evil's not a horror game, it's a shooter.
It used to be a horror game
Did it though? Did it?
once upon a time.
Did it?
Once upon a
Silent Hill,
time.
that one with the big triangle.
Pyramid Head.
Pyramid Head, yeah.
Pyramid, thank you.
Graham, have you ever played any of the Silent Hill games?
No, the only pyramid I know is like the tea bags.
Cool. Okay, I thought we were going to another football reference. And Dan, have you played any of the Silent
think-
Hill?
I think I played Silent Hill, but I would imagine I didn't like it because I was young, dumb, and incompetent. So I am looking forward to seeing something brand new. Well, I say brand new.
So I couldn't get on with the original one on the PlayStation, but Silent Hill 2 is probably one of my favorite games ever because it was just perfectly paced and there was a good amount of horror and a good amount of twists and intrigue. The combat was a bit crap, but that was kind of the point, wasn't it, Ross?
Yeah, it was more that you had to pick and choose your fights, not just destroy everything that you came across.
Yeah. Has anybody else played Silent Hill 2? Because that's widely regarded as like the best in the series or one of the best horror games ever made.
I
Ian?
think it was two
No.
I played.
The only thing I know that is Silent. Oh, he's gone. I was
He's
about to say
gone.
the
You can't do
Scottish
it.
lads.
You can't do it. You can't do it. Yeah. So as I was saying, Blue Box Studios supposedly are rumored to be working with Kojima, who was originally working on Silent Hills, that PT demo that teased Silent Hills that ended up getting shut down when they split up. And since then, they haven't really done anything with Silent Hill. But supposedly, this collaboration with Bloober Team is one of several relating to Silent Hill, but they haven't again specifically said there's Silent Hill stuff coming. Just a quick. I know again it's sort of PlayStation related, but has anybody seen all like the speculation around Blue Box and Abandon and stuff?
I haven't seen that one though.
Nope.
You'll have to. 'Cause they've just
Right,
bought
there's-
someone, haven't they? PlayStation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the folk who
they
did
bought a few-
Returnal
Yeah,
and something else
but
as well.
it's a lot. It's far too shopping. Far too long-winded. But basically, there's a game company that's making a game that looks like it could be a Silent Hill, but they're not saying it's Silent Hill. There's a whole big conspiracy around it. So that could end up being another one of the Silent Hill projects. I forgot to say before we started, I've got to pop off for 5 minutes because the shopping's arrived. So, Dan, take over.
Oh my god!
I'm so glad we've nailed down how to do this.
Well, it should have been here an hour ago, but it's just rocked up now. But it's not very much. So I'll be right back.
Is it any football related stuff?
Any beers?
There's beers, yeah.
So the shopping has come home.
Oh.
Shopping's home, is it?
Yeah.
Hey.
I take it we've done this Silent Hill thing enough, and we'll move on to the next.
I needed to my joke about all the silent Scottish fans.
Oh, ouch! Right. Anyway, let's move on. So, they're over in Australia. The Australian Classification Board has issued a rating for a new mysterious ID software game known only as Project 2021B. So, while it's unclear what the game is, from the classification details and on the ratings website, we can see that it's an ID software game on multiple platform title with online activity. So it's got some sort of multiplayer description, and it's rated M for mature. Guys, speculate away. What on earth do you think this this title could be?
What games did ID make? I forgot.
So ID did. Am I right in saying Hitman? No, that's IO,
That's
isn't it?
IO, yeah, that's what I
IO is
was
Hitman.
thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let
Got
me
Doom
see.
3 on there. Is that related to it?
So Doom 3. Also, they were saying the 25th anniversary of Quake was earlier this month. So,
Ugh.
okay.
Didn't like Quake.
Yeah,
I why you were so late. Jesus Christ. Slow
You're a
down.
2020 game?
Dude, fuck
Wolfenstein.
off.
Wolfenstein. Okay, yeah. So we're talking about Jay, the Australian Classification Board, talking about this unknown title by ID Software.
Okay, hold that thought.
Oh, typical.
He's
Yeah,
off again.
yeah, it's Rage as well. That was their
Rage.
recent
Yeah,
one.
that's-
Rage
Oh yeah.
did
Rage-
all right, and then didn't it nosedive?
Rage is about the only one I can see that it could be. The rest of them,
Rage 3, yeah, it could be Rage 3.
Doom and Wolfenstein are both Bethesda. Quake's the only other one, but it's either Quake or Rage, you would say.
Yeah, I guess Quake or Rage as well.
Quake
Yeah.
makes more sense of it being
Yeah.
its
It
anniversary.
hasn't been around for a while, has it?
No,
No, am I right in saying the last Quake one was on the 360?
Oh, God, yeah, it was.
Ooh, could be.
Probably, yeah.
That's probably why I haven't seen it for a while.
Because what was the Quake one? Was it something like Unreal Tournament or something?
No.
Hang on, isn't that a separate series?
Am I thinking
Unreal
of something
separate.
different?
Yeah, Quake Champions, wasn't it?
Yeah, Quake and Unreal, they're a different series.
What engine did they use on Quake though? Wasn't that the Unreal?
Oh, that's probably true, but
The Unreal Engine.
Maybe
nice.
I've got my games mixed up. I'm thinking the Unreal Tournament, not Quake.
Yeah, Quake was a shooter.
So was Unreal
Yeah,
Tournament.
first FPS, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only one that logical is either Quake, because obviously the anniversary, or Rage 3.
I'm trying to think. Did you guys
Or
play
Commander
Rage?
Keen, maybe? No, that.
How
Nobody
old's that?
announced that. That's old school. Like 1990.
Christ. Yeah. So, did you guys play Rage?
I haven't played it, no.
no, I haven't stepped into that one either.
Have you?
I think I played a tiny bit of it, and there was power. You could get powers, and it was very much like things all dotted around the map, like open world. So you could go. You had to kind of clear out a stronghold. Oh, he's back. He's
Yeah.
back. Yeah, clear out a stronghold. You'd get powers, and then you'd have to drive somewhere else to then clear out another area. But yeah, I don't think I got on too well with it.
So
Talk
what are you
about-
talking about? Sorry.
Rage.
Okay.
Did you dabble in that?
I tried the first one, but didn't really like it very much. I haven't tried the second one yet.
Yeah. What's your thinking of what this game could be from ID Software?
I very much hope it's a Quake related thing.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Either a remake or a Quake 5. We up to now? Yeah, Quake 5.
Is there 5? That many, weren't there?
Yeah.
Because Quake's one of those series. I've always I've sort of been an accidental fan, as it were, because I've ended up buying and playing all of them without really sort of thinking, oh, the new Quake, I'll definitely buy that. It's just like I've got the one on the Saturn. I got 2 with my PC back in the day. I've got 3 with my Dreamcast, and then I got 4 with a 360. And I was like, oh, I happen to actually have played and like all the Quakes. So
There we go. Happy days for you.
yeah, so I'd like to see either, like I said, a new one or some sort of remaster or remake of the first one or something, because the first one's getting on quite a bit now.
Yeah, I'm saying the last one on the console was Quake on the 360, wasn't it?
Yeah, Quake 4, which come with a disc which had Quake 2 as well included if you bought it day one, I think.
Oh, nice.
So no, a new Quake would be nice, because I much prefer that to Doom. I know you prefer Doom, Ian, but I definitely prefer a new Quake, please.
Be nice, something different. To be fair, I agree.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time. I mean, they've got Quake. I think it's called Quake Champions on the PC. It's like a free to play.
That's the one I mentioned. Yeah,
which I have tried very briefly, but I like the story mode of Quake quite a lot, as opposed to I like the multiplayer as well, but definitely story mode. Sorry, I've kind of jumped in halfway. What's everyone else's thoughts? Sorry,
You caught up pretty much
Yeah.
there. They were just guessing what it could be, but we're sort of steering towards Quake as well because it's been so long since the last one.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we were joining on a battle royale style Quake?
Fuck.
I'm not saying it will.
As much as I like battle royales, we don't need a battle royale Quake.
Well,
that would be carnage.
Yeah.
I haven't played them. I can't even think what it's like. It's back to you, really. There's not much more. We just surmised what game it could be. 25 years since the last Quake's anniversary, I should say.
Yeah.
So that's
cool.
That was our thinking.
So far, Silent Hill remake or remaster or something, and Quake remake and remaster.
Oh, joy! Is this the remaster year? Do you reckon?
Well, looks like
remaster.
As much as every other year, I suppose, eh?
Well, yeah.
All right, let's go with xCloud streaming is now widely available to everyone who has Game Pass Ultimate.
Yes.
So obviously it's been in beta and up until now via phone or web browser streaming, but as of a couple of days ago, it's now available to everyone who has Game Pass Ultimate, and it also using Xbox Series X based gubbins to run. As we discussed, I think last week was it? We were talking about some people were noticing. So yes, that's cool. So if you've got Game Pass Ultimate, you can now cloud game to your heart's content. Ross, you said you went out your way and actually got yourself Game Pass. Did you go for Ultimate or was it?
Yes, I went and got Ultimate, and I have been using the xCloud stuff since it jumped on pretty much all devices. So I have been playing through Streets of Rage 4 on my iPad.
Very nice. That's a good game for Game Pass. Cloud gaming, sorry, I think.
So there's tiny bit of input delay, but it's not. It's the type of game where it doesn't affect it that much. That if it's a wee bit behind what you press. But no, I think it's a couple of hours into the game. Just anytime I'm sitting in the living room watching something that the missus is watching, fire up the iPad and Streets of Rage, away it goes.
What are you doing, controller or touchscreen?
I tried it originally with controller just to see what it was like. I thought being on the iPad it'll be a bit easier because I've got a stand for the iPad, so I could still use the touchscreen a bit easier. But obviously, it's far superior when you're using the controller.
Oh, totally. Touch on some of the games are dreadful.
Yeah,
I've been playing Guacamelee, and I've noticed recently there's been a lot more lag in terms of input delay, as well as kind of like have you noticed the stop-start shuddering of certain games? Like in your first 5-10 minutes, it just shudders for a tiny bit, or if quite a lot goes on in the screen, it just doesn't do well. It feels like it's gone backwards.
I was going to say, do you think there might be something to do with now it's open to everybody, the servers sort of get a bit more strain on it?
Because I didn't anticipate it when I first loaded it up, but as soon as I clicked into it, the first thing I thought was, right, I'm going to jump into Gears. And then I went to click Gears, and the first screen that comes up with a little rocket was it also had a message saying that the servers are really busy at the moment. I forgot that the more people that are jumping on that server, the longer it's going to take for your game to get into that game. Because you're not just jumping into a game, you're jumping onto a server that is running this game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I mean.
I had to factor that in, so then I jumped out and jumped on something a wee bit lesser to try and just experience what the cloud gaming was like.
And has it been worth the wait? Because you've been waiting ages to get into it.
Oh yeah, I'll be using this loads now. Just simple things like sitting in the living room and instead of trekking upstairs to go and play the Xbox, if I've got my Game Pass games sitting there, games that I'll be maybe even games that I've been wanting to play and not so like I know I keep harping back to this game, but Killer Queen Black, I would quite happily just sit there with that on the iPad and play that sort of game. So a game maybe that I had enjoyed playing but wasn't really a game I was going to spend loads of time playing if I could be playing something else.
Yeah.
So it'll come in handy for that.
Spending time with the wife when not spending time with the wife.
Exactly, yeah. In the same room and occasionally saying yes, no, or maybe is taking, is spending time.
Did you guys see on Podcast Unlocked? Probably Ian didn't. How they had Phil Spencer on there, and they were talking about Game Pass, all the Game Pass Ultimate, all the games coming out, and I think it's this recent batch of new Series X games are coming are not air quotes backward compatible with the Xbox One or the OG Xbox. And the way round they've done it is you can now stream from your Xbox One using the cloud gaming to then you play Microsoft's Flight Simulator.
Yeah. I had stuck a wee bit in the news story about it when I was covering the upgrade for the Series X hardware is going to be used for the cloud, and I'd popped something in that they were now saying that you can run those games via the cloud for previous gen consoles, which is fantastic. It's just more people are going to get to experience it.
Well, and it's also them keeping their promise that all games are going to be kind of backwards compatible with the last generation of Xboxes in a roundabout way. But as he stated, it will be best played on a brand new Series X.
Yeah.
Especially
while people still can't get hold of them because it's still so hard to find, isn't they, the new consoles?
Yeah, I was surprised that he said that. I didn't think it was just chips that they're. It's because of the delay in chips, isn't it? They can't. Either they can't procure them quick enough, or
they said they're literally selling every single one they can make. So it's not a case of them sort of holding back demand. They just can't make them fast enough.
Yeah, the problem. I think a lot of the problem for Sony and Microsoft is they can't really do anything about this scenario. It's AMD, the ones that make the chips, that can't keep up with demand because things, even if you look at their PC side, they can't make enough graphics cards and they can't make enough, whether it be AMD or NVIDIA, the silicon they need to make the chips, they just can't get enough of it. There's not, the production lines that they use can't keep up with the demand to make the right size of chips that they need to make at the moment. So Sony and Microsoft are behind the eight ball because they can't physically do anything to improve the situation. It's not like they could ply more money into things to speed up how many they can produce.
Exactly. Of all the companies on earth that could afford to produce it, if they could, Microsoft would be like, a few more billion, whatever. But Ian Gray, have you had a chance to play any more cloud recently?
A little bit. Hold on.
Yeah, you go.
So I've done a bit on my Rikishi, a bit of Forza Horizon 4. Again, it's just nice, seamless. For me on the phone, I just do my phone. And it worked fine for me, no issues whatsoever. I'm kind of loving it and enjoying life with it. Definitely going to try and use it more, especially I'm going away more over the summer now, and also be using it a lot more because I'll do that and play some time with family.
Well, as Ross showed, you can do both.
Exactly.
You can be playing that, and then, Daddy, will you play with me? Yeah. Go fetch the ball. Yeah, no further away. Yeah.
Keep going, keep running, keep going.
It's over there behind those trees.
Go long.
And they remember.
Well, when I need to use sort of cloud streaming, I don't need to use the tablet because I can use my laptop to use that unofficial Spanish app that allows me to stream my Xbox straight to my laptop. So
that's a good point actually, because now that obviously they're doing the cloud for every Game Pass Ultimate member, but it's still not console streaming, is it? It's just cloud gaming.
No, that's the thing. There's certain things I want to play. Not everything's on that cloud thing. Otherwise, I'd use that instead.
Yeah.
But I was just using it to plow through a bit more Yakuza.
Yeah. Nice. I think I did try. Oh no, I said last week actually, didn't I? When I went to Softplay, I tried it there and didn't work very well. But I will try some more because I want to try the browser-based one again on the laptop to see if I can get it to work any better. Because last time I used it was a bit naff. But I don't know if that's just the hardware I've got's not very good at it or what. I don't know. But yeah. So everybody, Game Pass Ultimate, best deal in gaming. Now, even better deal.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And speaking of Game Pass, a new game that was added recently was Gang Beasts, which we've all had a lot of fun with over the years.
Yeah.
It's joined Xbox Game Pass last week or the week before, something like that. And it's adding crossplay, which is good.
Yay.
Except for guess who doesn't want to play
Nintendo.
crossplay?
Nintendo.
Sorry.
Sorry, you're both wrong. Ian, have you got any ideas?
Isle of Wight.
The Isle of Wight is close.
Amiga.
They're about as backwards as the Isle of Wight.
Sega. Sorry, I completely missed that. Sega, I meant to say. I don't know why I went.
I mean, Isle of Wight and Sega do sound very similar.
I don't know.
They're both famous for their blue hedgehogs.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like I can't multitask during the podcast.
Clearly not. I'll bring it back around. PlayStation. You'll be surprised that PlayStation don't want to do crossplay.
No.
Who would have thunk it, eh? Well, they don't want. I don't know whether they want to. Probably don't want to, but it's not going to happen. So yeah, so Game Beast will let you play with PlayStation. No, not PlayStation. Switch, PC, not PlayStation. Once again, as we keep banging this drum, boo.
It's getting embarrassing, surely.
It's just, I don't know. I don't get it. It's just like proper salty from them, isn't it?
It doesn't make it just. I mean, I'm sure there's business reasons. I'm not a businessman in the slightest, and I'm sure there's reasons for it. But it just at this point, it just seems like, as you said, like just sort of that sour grapes. Like, well, I don't want to play with you. Yeah.
It's like a dad joke, though. A really, really bad dad joke. Guess who we can't play with today? PlayStation.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me, but
No, well, especially when you can in Fortnite. Do we name what was the games? I can't even remember this.
there's Rocket League, Fortnite, Call of Duty. There's another game coming up soon called Crash Drive, I believe, which has crossplay across all platforms.
So yeah, I don't.
There's at least a dozen or so more. I can't think of the names of now,
Yeah.
but not Game Beasts for some reason. Perhaps there's a technical reason. I don't know. But that's unlikely.
Bizarre, yeah.
Yeah. And then one very quick one. We'll sort of circling back around to Kojima. Apparently from what's his name, Jeff Grubb. From GamesBeat. He said Microsoft and Hideo Kojima have signed a letter of intent to work on a project together. They're both interested. Doesn't look like. Well, there's no indication whether Microsoft will invest in his studio or not. So not sure if he's going to come on as sort of like an official Xbox partner, as it were. But the project is cloud-based. So they hired a lady called Kim Swift the last couple of weeks, who's going to work on all their cloud stuff. And that's supposed to be facilitating this deal with Kojima to make some sort of game based on the cloud. And as you might know, he's quite fond of using weird and wonderful technology to make weird and wonderful games. So I'd be quite interested to see what you can pull out with cloud gaming that's unique and not just a case of streaming a game to your console or to your device. Does anybody have any interest or thoughts in Kojima bringing a weird and wonderful project to us?
No.
I love that.
No, don't get me wrong.
At least there was an answer. I thought it was going to be silent for a minute.
It's like, see, like I'd seen that Kojima was bringing something, and I've heard if you've played Death Stranding and you've actually gave it time, it's a great game. I just didn't fancy playing a walking simulator as Daryl from Walking Dead. So, but apparently it's a really good game.
Supposedly, yeah. I mean, there's the director's cut coming out in a couple of weeks. Is it a couple of weeks? No, it's a bit further off from that. I do like his games. I like the Metal Gear series and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what it's all about. But I think a lot of it will be more, what's the word? Like pomp and circumstance rather than necessarily being a good game. It would just be Kojima's doing something weird and wacky. Have a look, check it out. Whoa. And then you play it and be like, yeah, this is all right, I suppose. But
Yeah, could be. I mean,
anybody else could do that. It's just because he's got quite a cachet with his name and stuff.
it's that time where like Steven Spielberg put his name to like that Blocks game, which was just completely bizarre.
That's a good shout.
Spielberg's Blocks.
That was on the Wii, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Something like block builder type thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it now, but yeah, that was strange. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they can get out of it, especially if if it's like an Xbox exclusive, obviously based on the cloud and stuff. But again, it'll be more a curiosity rather than a must play, I imagine. Although I'm sure many people would be like, oh, it's the best thing ever made. Kojima did it. It's the best thing I've ever played. Oh my God. It's oh no, we've already been over that topic already. But yeah, so Kojima, I like Kojima stuff, but
Think about Metal Gear.
Oh, Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Cool.
Invent gaseous. Yeah.
Gaseous Snake for the win.
Mm.
Well, maybe if he gets Kiefer Sutherland back he could get Kiefer Sutherland and Daryl from The Walking Dead to team up. And they could
24.
I'd love to see a proper 24 game. There was one on the PlayStation 2, but it was really rubbish. I'd like to see Kojima could do a good 24 game, I think. Like a proper 24-hour like real-time game.
Real time. Oh no, it'd come out in 24 episodes, wouldn't it? Jesus. Could you
Well, yeah,
imagine?
but like an hour an episode, once a week or something.
Think download to an hour.
Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
could do an hour.
We could do with a new 20. Anyway, we're getting off track. Anything else anybody saw this week that they'd like to discuss, or should we move on to what our question of the week is?
Question of the week, I think.
Yeah.
Question of the week.
Doodle,
Okay.
doodle, doodle, doodle.
So we got a question from Sweeney. It's is it coming home? I'm sorry, Ross. I had to get one more in. I'm sorry. I care less than you, and I just.
He's gonna come around and kill us all.
I'll show you. It's fucking coming home. They'll beat us with Iron Brew.
Haggis
Two iron. Yeah, in
with
a
his
sock.
kilt on. Freedom.
All right, let's
His bad Mars bar.
let's
I
leave
don't
poor
know
Russ
what else-
alone for a minute then.
What else is
So
Scottish do?
we're on question. We're on it's our 30-day video game challenge, but 30 weeks here because we do weekly. We are on week 18, which is our favorite protagonist from a video game. And I'm going to go to let's give Ross a shout first because we've been picking on him. Ross, stop bending over and getting your weapons ready.
William
and answer-
Wallace. No, I was going to pick something that everybody else had picked, so I've went for Geralt of Rivia.
They mean the England football team.
Protagonist, not antagonist.
So Geralt, what do you enjoy about Geralt of Rivia?
His dry, sarcastic humour,
Good, isn't it?
and the fact
Yeah,
that any lady that he looks off just happens to drop their clothes. Fair place to the lad.
Is that what you want to be like?
Obviously, who wouldn't want to be?
Gets
You
me
know, Dan
embarrassing
gets
when...
naked for you.
Ah, for God's sake.
Can you just imagine Dan and
I have
Clementine if he
video
had
proof.
that
I have
ability?
picture proof as well.
Exactly.
Don't put it up. Don't put it. Don't do
Do
it.
not
Don't
do
do
it.
it. Graham. What's your answer?
Do not do it.
My answer is Goro Majima from the Yakuza series. That guy is an intense nutbag.
So who is Goro? Because I've heard of the name, but I don't know who he is in relation to.
So
the main
Kiryu
character?
is the main guy, Kiryu Kazuma, and basically he's just all part of the main clan, the Tojo clan, and then Kiryu's part of the Kazuma family, and Mijima's part of I can't remember what this Shimazu family, I think it is, and they called him the Mad Dog of Shimaru or something like that, Shimazu, and basically he's just a loose cannon all the time, and it was just his story was that he tried to stage a coup, and with either his brother or his close friend, and it failed, and he was basically captured and just tortured relentlessly, and he kind of lost his mind from being tortured. But the story, I think it came about in Zero, where he kind of saw what Kiryu was angle, and then sort of took a shine to him basically, and then he just puts on this crazy facade, and he just becomes obsessed with Kiryu. He just keeps wanting to fight him just because they love having fights. And yeah, he just keeps making an appearance in every other Yakuza game, and it's always brings a smile to a face whenever he pops in, because there's always something crazy is about to happen.
As the Yakuza series is famous for, I suppose, yeah. Bit batshit madness going on.
It's just like it's kind of the yin and yang, but because Kiryu's so dry and so deadpan, it's just every now and then he sort of throws in the opposite side where it's this loose cannon coming into it. He's got way more charisma.
And do you say you always fights your character, or do you ever get to control him or team up with him?
Well, you get to play as him in the Zero one. In the third one, he's just there to help you out, but he won't help you out unless you fight him first. He's just that kind of character.
Nice. Okay, cool. Good shout. Good shout, sir. Daniel.
Yes.
Chocolate Bear. What is your choice of favorite protagonist?
So I am going to steal Marcus Phoenix.
Don't, no, come on.
No, I'm not reading what you guys have wrote there, because you guys are wrong, and you're just
Regular
wrong.
listeners, I'm sure, will be able to figure it out. But
yeah,
yes,
just wrong ones. So myself, Marcus Phoenix. I do enjoy. I think that's the first. Oh, thanks for the hand gesture there. Yeah, he's. I think he is the guy I've grew up gaming with, across the Xbox console. So yeah, he's my hero.
he's a good shout.
Have
No
you
shit is
completed any
too
of the
tough.
Gears games?
Yes, thank you, all of them.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a start.
You can TA those bad boys. I've done them. And I think
Ian's
1 and
already on
2,
the
I
case by the
almost,
looks of it.
it looks like he is. I think 1 and 2, I tried to go in sanity mode and failed miserably.
It's hard on your own, but it's good fun in co-op.
Co-op, yeah.
It's
So I played
fantastic
these
in co-op.
with a mate at work long time ago, and we went through the Gears games, and playing it with a friend is so much really good fun. Especially the do you remember the light sequence where you're doing the flashlights?
Yes.
So you could burn the krill.
With a
So
scroll.
as your mate's running, as he's running around, you have to make sure the light's on him. There's many a times I've fucked that up.
Intentionally as well.
Yeah, and on Insanity as well. So no easy feat.
Yeah.
Speaking
It's like
of
an instant kill, then.
Speaking in Insanity, General Ram on the train on Insanity in the first one is just. It's probably
that almost. Go on.
probably one of my like highlight gaming moments of me and my mate playing it on co-op, and me with a torque bow just straight through in the head, and that was the shot that kicked off the cutscene to show that he had died, and it was just like celebration moments.
He's dead.
I don't remember beating him. We did beat him, but I don't remember sort of like a moment like that. But I remember me and my mate were doing it, and it took us fucking forever to beat that bastard.
He just sends wave after wave of the krill at you, and you're just like, fuck off, just let me kill you.
It was hard enough the first time round on normal, and then when we got to
Stabby
it on
bastard.
Insanity, it's just like,
oh shit.
this is
Why am I doing it?
It's like instant kill. Every time you poke your head out, I was like, dead. Oh, shit, start again.
And the thing is, it was one of these. It was one of those things where it wasn't like the rest of the game, where it's like if your partner went down, they could crawl back and revive you. As soon as the krill killed you, that was it. It didn't matter if you were still alive. If your partner went down, it was game
they
over.
sort of shredded you, didn't they?
It was like
you had no chance.
They could just clip you and you were dead on Insanity mode.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamie dies without that. So
I think you'll find you died quite enough as well. Thank you very much. The last time we played.
Turns the game on dead. God damn it.
Loaded in. Well, last time I loaded it in, didn't bloody work properly. I was running all over the place. So I couldn't move at all. Anyway, Ian, what about yourself? What is your favourite protagonist?
well, I'm going to, people obviously unison in this one. So I go for my first one, which is not everyone said, which is Sam Fisher.
Oh, good shout.
That's a good shout indeed.
So definitely has to be that. Good old Splinter Cell. Can't go wrong with that. I wasn't playing Agent 47, and I realised actually it's quite boring.
Yeah.
What's your favourite Splinter Cell game?
See, I really love Conviction, which surprisingly was the worst one. No one really liked.
Was Conviction?
It was quite different though, wasn't it?
It was very different. It's very cool, more badass, and also they had the co-op mode of the two Archer and Kestrel.
What was the one where you had to be a bad guy? Well, you weren't really a bad guy, but you had to pretend you were being
Double Agent.
Was that Double Agent?
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
I still haven't finished off Chaos Theory. Man, that's going to be a really good one.
Chaos Theory, I think, is possibly my favourite. That and Pandora Tomorrow were excellent on the original Xbox. And then I didn't really like Blacklist so much. It sort of.
Oh, no, Blacklist was all right. I thought
it was all right, but it didn't really didn't quite capture what I liked about Splinter Cell. It was a bit too, again, much like Resident Evil, went a bit too more actiony, I think, for that one.
You've got to ask, like, Ubisoft must know that there's these amount of people that love the Sam Fisher games. Like, what did they gain?
Yeah, because they put him in everything
new...
else.
Exactly.
Yeah, God, yeah, and everyone seems to lamp on it, don't they? Like, oh.
So I just like, what? Why not just bring out a new game about Sam Fisher?
Great. What would you like to see in a new Sam Fisher game?
I don't know. I mean, I
Bazookas.
played some of them, but I don't think I got completely down the whole series. I didn't complete any of them.
Well, I know you love stealth games, so there must be something you'd like to see.
Yeah,
Stealthing all the way.
yeah, one without stealth.
Yeah,
Pure
Yeah, so
action. Just
basically
bad
Blacklist.
for you.
Yeah.
Him down a pub, just having a beer.
Yeah.
Which is how Conviction started, I think, wasn't it? I was in a coffee shop.
Oh, God. Beer
Um,
tapper, that's the one.
but yeah, so Sam Fisher. Anyone else, Ian? You wanted to go through your one?
Yep, sure. So I'm sure everyone loves it. But Commander Shepard, be a purposely male paragon Commander Shepard.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Have you tried Renegade and female Renegade and Paragon, or you just default to male Paragon?
Male paragon. And has to be black as well.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Actually. Because Commander Shepard's black in my life.
Yeah.
So
See, my shepherd's got a gormless face. So, well, I suppose that's probably about right.
Oh.
no, I think I prefer playing as Paragon than Renegade. I've done Renegade playthrough as female, and just wasn't that. I think when you play with female Renegade, she's more acts like more like a bitch than anything.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a male Renegade, it's more like he's a badass. But
Yeah.
as a woman, it feels like it's really different. Doesn't fit her character.
Would it surprise you to learn that she also played Abby? No, she didn't really. I'm joking.
Wouldn't surprise me. That fucking bitch gets everywhere, doesn't she? I'm sure she's a lovely person.
Yes, she is. I enjoy her at the release. And for me, I'm going to go with Leon from Resident Evil because I am
No, you mean
massive
Sheila
nerd.
from Resident Evil 5?
not fucking Shiva from Resident Evil
Sheila
5.
was fantastic.
No, she was all right. She was all right, to be fair.
She
but
got a bow and
Hey.
arrow as a legendary
I-
weapon. It was
yeah.
fantastic.
definitely my favorite character out of all of them is Leon. And seeing as Dan stole Marcus Phoenix because he's got good taste, I'm going for Leon.
Or no imagination.
Well, I was going to go with Mario, but I know you guys would have laughed at me. You know,
Mario?
He's the grandfather
God,
Paragon.
That's just so.
What? Because he jumps on mushrooms and hits boxes? That makes you a great protagonist. Because he
And
really drives that
saves the
story home.
princess. Ooh.
He is the grandfather.
He doesn't do jack shit though.
Only to be topped by Mr. Game & Watch.
You're so fucking old, Dan.
I'll just leave it.
I'm surprised you didn't say.
Anyway,
I like
anyway.
Pac-Man.
I was
Anyway,
going to say, you could have had
anyway.
Pac-Man. That would have probably been more fucking entertaining.
He's just
Anyway,
having on.
I enjoy Leon because he's very cool and very badass. He's got nice hair. Anyway, let's move on. So, video games. What have we been playing? Should we talk about our Project Game Pass very quickly, and then we'll move on to what we've been playing?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Did
make it-
anybody play Knockout City?
I did.
Yeah, I did.
Ross,
I
you
did a
didn't play
bit.
at all.
No, I didn't get a chance.
Ah,
Fucking
I
hell.
know. It's the first one I've missed. I'm disappointed in myself. I've got it installed. I just haven't jumped into it yet.
Outrageous. All right, very quick roundtable then. Ian, yay or nay for Knockout City?
Nay on your own. Yay, you're playing with people that are competent.
typical.
So
He always
very
has
rare
to
then.
squeeze out two fucking answers from one.
Well, no, because it's so
It's
annoying
yes
when
or
you
no.
when you play on your own. It's just like it can be so boring and annoying. But when you play with people, even if you play people that are not competent like Jamie, it's still a good laugh.
You fucking yeah. Graham, what about you?
Yeah, I echo that bit. But you have to play it with your friends, because if you don't, you get a proper bleeding edge scenario where you're just individuals getting smacked about. But yeah, I mean, it's better when you're playing with people with the same sort of game level as you, because there's some defensive masters on there.
We got tanked one game, didn't we? Absolutely bent over and pulled trousers down and slapped hard.
I think that was when we were playing 3-on-2 as well. They're just defensive masters. They're just catching everything.
Daniel, yay or nay?
Yeah, as much as I took the mick out of Ian, he's right. And Graham, you need to have. I think there's got to be communication for this game to be enjoyable. If you're not talking to your friends, if they're not using headsets and stuff, it is
you need
quite
to
boring.
team up. You need to work together. You need to be catching it, throwing and passing the ball so they can throw it, or throwing at the same time so they can't catch two at the same time.
Yeah, there's a lot of it is if you're not playing as a team or cooperatively and having a laugh over the mic, this game can be a little bit stale. But I really, really enjoyed it. It's a yay from me.
No,
I'm sure some gameplay coming up shortly.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed playing on my own. When it very first came out, I played probably an hour a night for a week or so. And I really got into it because everyone was still new, everyone was still learning. And then obviously I played with some of you guys as well, and it was a lot of fun as well, as much as I might have let the side down as usual. But I sort of fell off of it for maybe a week or two, and I tried it again last week, and obviously everybody's got a lot better now. Everybody's picked up the tips and tricks, and they've also changed the way I think the passing works. So you used to just be able to pass it and just throw it, but now if you pass it, it charges the ball up so you can throw it faster. So now that's added into the mix, and the people who've been playing it constantly have obviously got used to it. Whereas I jumped back in, and I was just when I very first started, I was doing pretty well. I was coming top of the leaderboards most of the time, getting a lot of knockouts and stuff. And then when I played it again, I absolutely got my ass handed to me. And again, it doesn't help playing on your own because no one talks and no one communicates. So it definitely needs, teamwork. But it's a yay for me because I very much enjoyed my time with it, regardless whether I was getting my ass handed.
I think I'll still give it like a few more goes, still play it a bit more.
Yeah,
get some achievements.
Yeah. It's staying installed on my hard drive just so I can have a go, here and there. If we've got half an hour to kill, I'll have a quick go. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's almost got that sort of Rocket League vibe for me. Where they're fairly short games. They're a bit longer than Rocket League games, I think, but they're still pretty short. And it's just something fun to get into, have a quick couple of games, and then bounce off to something else, or rather than sort of getting sucked into something like Gears or something where you got to play for hours and hours and hours. But yay from me. And then Ross, boo to Ross for not even attempting to start it.
Letting down the team, sorry.
Outrageous. But this month, we're in a new month. We're in July. So this month, we did a poll on our Twitter, which is at Xbox Tavern, I believe.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch.
So if you could pop along, give us a follow and all that gubbins, and also see our poll. So we put up there. What you heard?
See your poll.
You can see Dan's poll. Pop up there. So we put a poll up, and we gave the options of Dead Space, Forza Horizon 4, the Gang Beast, and Outriders, because we couldn't decide between us what we wanted to play.
And you can't have 5 options.
And with a resounding 33.7%, we are now playing Forza Horizon 4 for Game Pass in July. Just about beating Dead Space by 1.5%, which is disappointing, but
it's fantastic. It's what it is.
3 of us have got to suck it up. I don't mind Forza. It's good. It's what I've played before. Is a laugh.
It's like I say, there's loads of different game modes now. There's obviously the Eliminator mode, which is obviously a good old battle royale. You've got obviously the capture the flag. You've got the infected.
Ross has got his fancy new steering wheel.
Also, it helps Ross be out because anything in Scotland that'd be fun to play in.
I I was going to say, with all these great modes that they've got, do you
Oh,
have
here we
to
go.
have completed the tutorial?
I think so. Yes, I think you actually
I
have
think
to
you
have
have
played
to.
more than 6 minutes of the game to get into the rest of it.
No, I'm in winter. Does anyone want to log into my account and just fucking do
Yeah,
the
see,
snow?
I
In fact, Dan,
think
I've got Dan on the Xbox. Let me just jump on yours and I'll fire through it for you, and
yeah,
it'll be
just
fine.
get through it. I have a feeling I might have finally finished it, but it did take me about 10 attempts to get past the intro.
How though? How?
Because I got bored. I literally started. I was like, oh, I can't be asked for this. Turn it off.
It's a 4-hour tutorial.
It's not a
It's
4-hour
not
tutorial.
4 hours. It's like 10 minutes.
10
Well,
It
minutes, my
explains
arse.
each season. That's it, and then
My
you start the
arse.
game.
I can
10
see
minutes, my
Graham's
arse.
super excited to be getting into a
Yeah,
wonderful racing game.
I wasn't too eager to start off with. Now you're saying this crap about tutorial stuff as well.
The tutorial's not as bad as Dan and G are making out to be. It's
Should we change? Should we change to FIFA 20 and make everyone be English?
Oh, that'd be good.
FIFA 21 technically would be the right answer if we're going to be pedantic fuckers.
I think I'd rather play Forza. But yeah, so we'll get through this. We'll play some games. Obviously, this is one we can play on our own a little bit as well, isn't it? So we can do some of the campaign, and then we can work together and play some co-op multiplayer and stuff at some point. Hopefully, this weekend or something, perhaps. And if you'd like to get involved, hit us up at Xbox Tavern or head to our Discord, which should be down there somewhere in the show notes. And join us. Show us how it's done, because I fucking suck at racing games.
Show us love. Show us love. Show us love.
So we'll be playing that. But in the meantime, we've been playing other things which are slightly more interesting for everybody. So let's start with Grayman. Gray, what have you been playing this week?
So the two games that I've been playing / reviewing this week, one is Warhammer 40,000 Space Wolf.
Warhammer.
Yeah. So upon sort of reading up on this game, I didn't realize it was like a port of a mobile game that came out many years ago. And it might explain some of the clunkiness of the game, but it's kind of an XCOM style tactical strategy game, but thrown in with cards as well. So you don't have sort of set moves. You can only play the moves that the cards have been dealt for you. And some of those are move cards, some of those are attacking cards, some of them are utility cards. And most of that bit, it kind of works okay. But when I first booted up the game, it just took you straight into the game. It was just like a tutorial mission. No intro, nothing, just straight into it. Just combat there. It confused me. I thought I missed something. But that just seems to be the whole theme of this game. It's just for Warhammer, which goes to town on big lore and story, there is literally very little story in this game. Nothing's explained. I have no idea what the Space Wolves are or what's going on. You've been betrayed and you find the rest of your party and the missions just follow on like that to try and, I don't know, get revenge.
It's sort of XCOM-y style action, isn't it?
Yeah, it's XCOM style action, but you can see how things have been programmed. It's just sad how they programmed it that way. Like they put like trap square, not trap squares, but just you can only go so far up the map before, if you go one step further, it triggers more enemies and stuff like that. It's just, it just encourages you to creep up on the map, and on certain missions, the NPCs are just rubbish. You're supposed to keep them alive, but they're computer controlled, and they literally just run straight into the enemy and just get themselves hammered. And
so you mean they're Dan controlled?
Hey.
It's just unbelievable. They don't defend themselves, and even if you catch them up, the computer enemy doesn't even sort of like fight you. It goes straight for the NPC and just hammers him. And if the NPC dies, that's it. You have to restart the mission.
You said they can't defend themselves, yeah?
They don't defend themselves. They go straight for what they're doing. They need to like reach this obelisk thing to enact it, and then they just run straight to it, and then you have to try and keep up with them. And yeah, they just got wailed on and died. And I was like, I don't know how. This is on the easiest setting as well. I was like, I don't know how I could have played this any differently.
It's a universe I've always wanted to get into. I mean, I was the wonders of TikTok. Had seen like there's people who dedicate their whole TikTok lives to explaining the lore behind Warhammer. but to find where to start in that series is just unbelievable. So like I feel like
Yeah.
dropping into a game would be the worst way possible because you would maybe pick up a bit of what was going on, but I think there's too much background for it just to be what you find out in the game.
But I thought that would be part of the game. You know, such massive lore that they have to invite people that are not massive Warhammer people into it.
Yeah.
But there's nothing.
It's
It's not
just-
even like an
just the
intro
go.
story. Go straight into it. Bang! You're a space wolf. What? Right. There's bad guys. You know, you have to take them out. Okay. Then why? What's the reasoning? It's just, there's just nothing there. It's a shame.
Reasoning
because-
is Warhammer, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the gameplay is okay. I mean, I like kind of XCOM style games. The card-based thing is a nice twist, but the way it's executed is just, awkward and almost unplayable at times.
That's a
But
bit,
on
of a,
the other
bit of a
hand,
shame.
the other one I reviewed last week was Worms Rumble, the battle royale, which Jamie loves, but with Worms-based characters.
And a Game Pass.
And in Game Pass as well, to encourage everyone. And I think it's cross-play with other platforms as well. And
Maybe even PlayStation.
maybe
No.
I didn't see it because whenever a game starts, it does show you like, all different players and the platform they're playing it on, and the majority were Xbox, to be fair. But yeah, I think it's 32 players on either side, and there's death matches or last man standing or last team standing or team death matches. And yeah, it's fun. It's the same sort of 2D worm-based gameplay. A lot of the familiar weapons, banana bombs, holy grenades, kind of what you expect. But it's in real time. Finally, a real-time Worms, which I think everyone who's ever played Worms has always wanted to see one. And yeah, it plays quite nicely. The platforming's okay. There's sort of jetpacks, and they use a plunger rather than a ninja rope, but it's still ninja rope to me. Sort of get around the courses. And
When you throw the holy grenade, does it still play Hallelujah?
no, there's a big hole. Not that I noticed anyway, because
Is it
that
not?
was,
I'm sure it did when I played it before.
it might have done, but what I was going to get to the point was the problem with the game is it's too many explosions at times. Because it got bazookas, grenades, holy grenades, banana bombs. It's just at times, and this thing I can't remember what it's called now. It's like a massive missile launcher. It fires like 9 missiles at once. It's some of the areas if you get to it's just explosion. Then sometimes you just lose track of where your worm actually is, just because there's so much going on. And you can't hurt your own team, so it's not like you can team kill your own team, but it's just Or at least I didn't notice it because there's so much fucking fire. I couldn't tell what was going on.
Pretty destroying your own guys. And that fucking
Yeah.
Graham Reaper, what's he doing?
It happens with the bazooka because it's still kind of the aiming works the same way as in the Worms anyway. You've got the right analog stick where you've got the little reticle that goes up and up and down as you're facing left and right. So you have to aim the bazooka right, otherwise you end up blasting yourself as you kind of shoot down. And it's they have brought a bit of Fortnite to it because the main menu, what it looks like, is very Fortnite-y, and there's like you can buy outfits and different color worms and clothes, etc. There's skins for your guns, and in play you can pick up medikits and energy drinks to sort of regen your shield and your health mid play as well.
If you sacrifice your character, does it still put the wee bandana and go for king and country?
Yeah, no, there's no kamikazes in this one.
You've ruined everything about it for me.
But it's still fun if you can get a group of you to play. It's only squads of 3, but if you can pull that one off and have a squads of sort of 3 and go into it, I'm sure you'll have a good time.
The main question that I don't remember from when I played it: can you still girder people?
No.
No
girders.
Well, I'm surprised you even bother playing it then, you fucking cheating bastard.
But it's real time. If it wasn't, you can't girder in real time.
Well, you could, yeah.
Not with that many explosions. It'd be fucking pointless.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I played the beta and I did play a little bit on Xbox. Yes, it's good. It's good fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Nice. Anybody else played Worms Rumble yet?
I haven't yet, no.
Yeah, that would have been a better shout for Game Pass.
Hadn't played a Worms game in decades.
Yeah,
that's good. I've forgotten who we went to now.
No one else. Just me.
Yeah, go Daniel.
Daniel.
It Takes Two, baby.
Oh, you.
You missed the when I said, "Oh, I'm stealing that." Yeah. So I thought this could be a nice little position where we could talk about it. So I started It Takes Two with my wife, and I'm pleasantly surprised. So all the rave reviews and the critics and everything else, they're right so far. This game is really, really good, really enjoyable. Has a night starts off quite sad. I suppose I
Yes.
can spoil that because you're a child. Mum and dad are getting
Don't
divorced.
listen. Don't listen.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
spoiled us. Oh, I'm turning my headset off.
So you can turn your headset off. I mean, it literally happens right at the beginning of the game. Yeah, so mum and dad are getting divorced, and the child makes two kind of visual representations of her mum and dad. You play as those visual representations, and then off you go. And you've got the narrator, who is the Book of Love,
Hakim.
Hakim, with a lovely French accent.
French?
Love. Do you think it's not? I thought it was French.
No. Well, maybe.
Go on. I got a very massive French vibe from it. And he guides you along the path of basically you two falling in love with yourself. I've done the first boss. Yeah, it's good. It's got great mechanics. My wife isn't a gamer, so it's got things like double jump and then dash.
Yep.
So watching a non-gamer do double
Hilarious.
jump and then a dash as well was quite amusing. But she enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was it was good fun.
I mean,
Nice.
it's a great game. As I'm in the same sort of boat as Dan. I'm playing it with my wife and not a gamer in the slightest this year, but she's having a great time. There is a few things, obviously, like Dan was saying, with the double jump and the dashing and things like that, can make it a wee bit difficult. And then, without going into too much detail, you get accessories later on in the game where one partner will have one accessory that will work in tandem with the other partner's accessory.
Yeah. So I suppose better thing is saying about the beginning, like you've got the puzzles. One person can do the puzzle to
Yeah.
help, and the other person has to go. So the easiest one says that there's an air puzzle. So as you flick the switch, one person has to flick the switch, and the other person has to jump, and you've got to do that within a certain amount of time, or like timed well. Otherwise, you just die.
Yeah.
And that's another good thing actually. When you die, it's like automatic, you're straight back into it. It's not this die, end credits, boom, and then start all back up again. It's you are instantly back. You die, you're instantly respawned, and off you go.
So the only thing I'll say about that is basically there's a heart. So like if you die and say like whoever you're playing with is still alive, a heart comes up on the person who dies screen, and if the other person stays alive long enough for you to fill that heart, the game just keeps playing. If both of you die before that heart gets filled, it goes back to like the last checkpoint.
Okay, we haven't managed to do that yet.
Right.
Oh,
So that's what happens if you both die. It goes back to like a previous checkpoint. But as long as you stay alive long enough to get that heart filled, the game just keeps flowing on. It doesn't stop and start.
Yeah.
But no, it's like the mechanics of it aren't overly complex for, I suppose, people who play games day in, day out. There's nothing too difficult. But even for people who don't play games that often, it doesn't take long for them to pick it up how to play it.
Yeah, that's a fair shout.
So it makes it really accessible for everybody.
My wife was surprised at how much of a story there was. She was like, "Oh, I thought you just sit here and just play games and shoot people."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, well, sometimes I do, but there is a story." I said, "This is just a book as such. They're telling you a story as you're playing along."
Yeah, Ian,
right.
Ian still got his headphones off. It's fine, I can see it. So basically, it goes along the whole way of how to save a marriage, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's what Dr. Hakim's there for, is to try and teach you not only how to save a marriage, but he uses things that you used to do loads. That's why I started to talk there, because I seen Ian pick up his headset.
Yeah, keep going.
So like the first sort of level is the first sort of level is a Hoover, and that's the big baddie.
Yeah.
And the Hoover never got repaired, but the wife's
she's a mechanic
type person,
something engineer.
Yeah, she builds a lot of things, but she never took the time to repair the Hoover. And it was like, if you were focused more on using your skills to fix things, then things would be much better. So therefore, had you spent the time to fix the Hoover, he wouldn't be the big boss that you have to right now. Had you spent time to work on your relationship, you just wouldn't be in this first place. So that it does a good thing about bringing the characters' lives into how the gameplay works.
Which is pretty much what I've heard so far. I mean, I'm not bothered like Ian about spoilers necessarily, but yeah. So you're saying at the end, the big boss...
the big flying saucer comes in and it's like poof, mind blown.
It does sound really awesome. It sounds really good.
I would say one thing, and it won't spoil it too much for Ian because it's literally just a small caveat. If you're playing with it, play it with somebody who either you are a great gamer friend with or your partner, because there's little side games in it, like tug of war. So it's the competitiveness between you and whoever you're playing with but it keeps score throughout the whole game.
Oh, no way.
So it gives you like a tally of who wins the most throughout the whole game. So it doesn't really affect the actual story of the game. It's just a nice little thing that whoever you're playing with it has that competitiveness.
Does that, as the story unfolds, do you stumble across these things, or do you have to go in a roundabout way?
Again, it won't spoil it too much for Ian, but there's a tambourine, and wherever you hear the tambourine, go to the tambourine, and the tambourine's the game.
Spoilers.
Okay.
Jesus.
It doesn't affect the story. It's just a side game. But it's
tambourine.
I fucking love spoiling this game.
Tambourine.
But it's just it's stupid little things like tug of war or whack-a-mole or just dumb little things like that. But it's
little arcadey.
It adds a competitiveness to you and the person that you're playing with.
Nice.
And it's just a nice wee thing that if you're playing with somebody who you've got a good gaming relationship with, or actually your partner or a brother, sister, son, daughter, whoever it may be, it's just a nice little added extra to the game.
Yeah.
But it does sound good. And he was very confident before it came out that people would like it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was spot on about this whole experience. The whole thing that he spoke about, that Joseph Ferris, totally right. This game has been nailed, and what it's jumped from A Way Out to this game is, I think it's like another level, isn't it?
I mean, I thought A Way Out was groundbreaking. I thought like there's nothing that's ever been done like this ever before, and it was just amazing. And It Takes Two builds on what that made, and it's made it even better. It's like the mechanics of it are brilliant. How everything's done to, like, you need to have great teamwork.
Yeah. It sounds good. It sounds like a good Project Game Pass game if everybody was if it was on Game Pass on EA Play, but not yet.
I mean, I think what
probably will do.
They have made it fairly inclusive because you don't like. So unfortunately I've got it on PlayStation, which is a bit annoying. But if I was
not anymore, I bought it.
All right. So for example, if Dan was wanting to play it, right, and G liked the looks of it but didn't want to buy it, you can jump into Dan's game because friends play free.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. You don't have to own the game to play it. So that means like Dan and you could, Jay could jump in, me and Ian could jump in, me and Graham could jump in.
Yeah.
You don't have to own the game. As long as one person owns it, you can get other players to jump in. So they've tried to make it as inclusive as they can like that. But I think if it drops in a Game Pass, loads of people will pick up this game because it is a fantastic game. It's probably one of the... Did it come out? Was it this? No, it was that end of last year, wasn't it? This year?
It was early this year, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's this year. If it's this year, it's definitely in my top 5 for games of the year. It's a great game.
That seems to be a general consensus, really. It's, as I said, he was bullish. He said, like, if you don't like it, I'll give you $1,000. And as far as I'm aware, he's giving no one $1,000 because everybody's like, it's one of the best games I've ever played.
It's just the comedy in it's great. I mean, Dr. Hakim's he's a pain in the fucking arse, but apart
funny
from
as hell.
He's funny, but he's just like, ugh. But the comedy aspect in it is fantastic. The storyline is brilliant, as much as it's, as Dan was saying, quite what Dan said because I don't want to repeat it for Ian. It's a well put together game, and mechanic wise, it's outstanding.
Graham, do you have any interest in playing It Takes Two?
Yeah, I think it might be something I could get my wife into playing if we
It's
have
the one
that
I'm
time,
definitely
yeah.
looking at playing. It's just why I don't want any spoilers because it is on my list and agenda.
You will get spoiled because if you're achievement hunting this, it's like a way out. It's a absolute pain in the arse.
Yeah.
I normally do a playthrough first and I'll go back and mop up.
But it does
Speaking
sound
of
fun.
achievements, actually, very quickly, I passed 200,000 today.
Woohoo!
Actually, well, yesterday, but yeah,
Well done.
I didn't even notice, and I was like, oh, suddenly, 200,000. Yeah, I think it was. Let's get into it. Doki Doki Literature Club that put me over. Let's
Better
get
than
into
Dan
it. Shall we?
anyway.
Should we get into it? Shall we?
No, let's not. Go on.
So, Graham, you've been playing some Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah.
Well, before we start, sorry, I've just tried to put. I've had to pause the trailer. I've just tried to put the trailer up on YouTube, and it's the first thing that comes up saying. Sorry, wait, I need to quote this exactly because I don't want to be in it. This game is not suitable for children and those who are easily disturbed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen
That's the first bit that comes up in the trailer. Nothing else, just that.
So if you watch the rest of the trailer, you might be very confused why they would put that at the start of the trailer because
Okay.
it basically looks like Ian's favorite genre, the visual novel,
Okay.
which it is.
God.
It is a visual novel, and you're playing as a young man. They're all over 18. I'd like to stress because that's what they say at the beginning of the game as well. Everybody's over 18 and don't play it if you're 18.
Are we about to get a ban for clicking on this thing up on
No,
YouTube?
no, you're right.
No.
But yeah, it's basically presented as a visual novel. So you join this literature club, and there's 4 girls, the typical cute anime style, oh, you're so adorable. And you basically work your way through writing poems for these characters. So you have to pick a character you sort of prefer out of the 4, and then you try and. I went for Yuri because
the maiden of
there she is on. Yeah, she's good.
Yuri.
And to write the poems, rather than writing out a poem, there's like 10 words on the screen. You pick one word, and a character will sort of jump up to signify it, best represent them. And so you sort of have to pick the best words to represent the character you're after. And it's all about building relationships and building, trust and working your way through the story. But again, going back to that warning, Ross, it will come out of left field. And it will hit you very hard.
Yeah, I'm confused because I clicked onto the trailer for us to look at the trailer, and I thought, okay, right, like this looks like one of these language of love type BS games that I've seen Dan enjoy before. But I can't also help but notice that underneath it says, check out the launch trailer for the disturbing psychological horror visual novel. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. So behind the cutesy anime aesthetic, there's a lot of darkness.
I'm thinking those 4.
In what kind of way?
I'm thinking those.
It takes a long way to get there. That's why.
There's as spoiler free as possible because we plan on doing a spoiler discussion with our good friend Bubba and Varno.
See, I'm actually intrigued to play this game now.
Honestly, it's one of the best things I played this year.
What?
It's been out for a few years on PC, and I'd listened to podcasts and stuff a few years ago talking about it, and they warned things go a bit sideways at points. But it's been long enough since I've long since forgotten what they said. And even though I knew things were coming, it still was like, oh shit! now we're getting into it. And it's one of the most clever visual novels I've ever played. It sort of mixes, like Ian, like I know you love things like Language of Love and stuff like that. But it sort of takes what people expect out of the visual novel, twists it, fucking cuts its head off, and then is like, oh, by the way, shove your hand in there and have a feel around. It is
disturbing.
It's if you're not expecting it, I imagine it would be quite disturbing. And even expecting it was still quite disturbing at points. But yeah, no, it is absolutely excellent. I mean, Bubba did the review for us, and he gave it a 10 out of 10.
So
and
14.99 for this joy.
I would back him up 100%. I honestly think it's absolutely excellent.
It proper strings you along for a while.
Yeah, the opening maybe hour or two maybe is played
just...
pretty straight. But there's sort of hints here and there, like, hang on, not everything is as it seems. And then once you get into it, it's just I try not to spoil too much, because if you're going to play it, you just need to play it and not worry about anything else. Just be prepared that if you're not sort of if you're not sort of emotionally ready for it, it probably will kick you in the ass.
Yeah. And you might want to play it yourself, because my wife thought it was some dodgy end.
I was thinking that. I'm looking at it, I was like, is this the sort of game I can stick on while the missus is in the room?
They've used that sort of preconception
to
very
lure
well,
you
because,
in.
Yeah, they sort of, it looks like as you said, like hentai porn, basically, like school girls who are over 18,
and they're all
in sort of short skirts and tight fitting tops,
and all of them flirt with you as well.
And all of them are like, oh, you're so cute.
And it's that jaunty tune in the background as well.
The music is awesome. It is proper. Again, it proper sucks you in, and it.
Is it all voice acting, or is it got?
No, it's no voice acting at all. But it's, it draws you in.
But the way they use the music and the sound effects and the visuals, and Ian, I know last 2 weeks ago I made you play some pile of shit called Prometheus. But I highly recommend.
I never trusted you after that again.
I highly recommend you try this game. It is honestly, as I said before, honestly one of the best games I've played this year. And I need to go back through and sort of get the true ending, as it were, as Bubba told me. But yeah, awesome, very good.
How long does it take you to do like one ending?
To one playthrough, I think was maybe 3 hours.
Oh, is that it?
Maybe, and that was like proper read and everything, and I got. Well, again, I don't want to spoil things, but
you got stuck.
I probably could have finished it a little bit quicker if I'd figured something else out. But yeah, maybe 3 hours to get through first play.
Oh, when?
And then Bubba reckons you could do the true ending in sort of less than an hour after that, because you can skip through everything. So,
perfect. I'm currently in the process of buying it.
It is, it was awesome. I very much enjoyed it, and it was. I played it with my wife sat next to me, and her sister sat next to playing something else, and they both kept looking at me like you said, like, what the fuck are you playing? Why are you watching schoolgirls talk? And I was like, they're not schoolgirls; they're over 18. Thank you very much.
They're college girls,
and you could sort of pick a favorite to go, to sort of try and impress, and to say any more would be a massive spoiler. So play it, please, and we shall discuss next week, because oh my god, what a game!
I don't think
what
I would have
a game.
this game.
Dan, you got to do it. If Ross is about to buy it, you've got to do it.
Yeah, you're basically getting it for nothing, so you've no option not to.
Well, it's a 3-hour game. I'm sure I could complete it.
Oh, it's so good, and very disturbing. All right, Ian, what have you been playing?
I could beat that now, can I? Really? No, the only game I've really been playing kind of actively is more one of my review games, which will be out later this week. That is a game called Police Stories. Police Stories is kind of like a top-down kind of Hotline Miami kind of style game. So kind of your two coppers and basically trying to stop down a criminal ring. This classic, stop them from taking over the town. Neutralize the criminals, save the civilians, and defuse bombs that are kind of in the mission. So it's definitely heavily inspired on the Hotline Miami style, but a lot more of a slower pace. So you've got to kind of take your time to kind of, when you go into a business, infiltrate buildings and stuff. And even if you die, it resets and it's all random again. So it's not like you go, well, one enemy's there the first time. If you die and go through again, the enemy will be somewhere different this time. So all levels are randomly generated, but the layout's still the same.
So it's just a case of like slowly searching your way through rather than run and gun type thing.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just run in and gun and kill you. Well, you can obviously, I think it takes like 3 or 4 shots and you're dead. So it's not like you're bulletproof or anything like that. You've got to try and take your time, kind of go around corners slowly. Kind of you can never throw flashbangs in the door. You've also got an AI companion with you, so he can kind of like infiltrate doors for you or throw a flashbang in a room. And if obviously the flashbang goes off, you can kind of infiltrate quickly and take out the enemies. There's also things like obviously with the bombs on the level. You can of course find the bomb before the timer goes off. Obviously, you can hit the kind of enemies to kind of get them to tell you the number of the code, or you've got to randomly cut a wire and hope that you've got the right wire to defuse the bomb or explode the bomb. I'm about.
So is it? Sorry, you said it's you got an AI companion. Is it co-op or not?
Yeah, so it can be co-op as well. Yeah, so you can play couch co-op with someone else. They can both obviously control each character, or you can obviously have the AI control you by obviously push a button for them so he'll follow you around. You can just wait here or infiltrate this room, go this way, go that way, and that way at least it gives you an opportunity to kind of play with two different characters, even though you're one character.
So can he revive you if you go down, or is it instant?
No, instant dead. Yeah, if they go down, you can continue playing, but if you go down, it's game over. Well, you've got to start level again. Oh. So it can be quite frustrating some of the longer levels, especially get towards the end, and obviously you go around the corner, then suddenly a guy comes out and kills you straight away. Like literally in like 2 or 3 shots and you're dead, maybe sometimes a bit more. So you've got to be quite quick and on the trigger, and then sometimes you can obviously like shoot your gun towards them, and they'll freak out and like surrender, and that way you can just like kind of arrest them. And obviously that's the kind of the way to kind of do it. So obviously not always you can sort of based on score. Okay. So throughout the game, each level's got a score base. Obviously, if you shoot someone who's surrendering, you lose points because obviously they've surrendered.
Yeah,
and you have to get a certain amount of points for the next level to get the next level unlocked.
Okay, that's a different kind of way of going through levels. And
so exactly. You can't just kind of run through the level quickly, then go to the next level. You've got to kind of make sure you're meticulous in doing what you're doing. Make sure you're not breaking the law by killing random innocent people and civilians. You've got to take your time with the level.
Yeah. Okay, that's all right then. I can't. Jamie has just left us, so he's left us in the lurch, and no one knows where he's gone. Has everyone's gone through and done their games, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah. Haven't we? Oh, Ross, you said you played a bit of Forza. What have you done so far on it?
No, tell us about your wheel. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so basically,
typical.
Yeah, so basically, I had I've been playing a lot of Forza recently, anyway, and I decided to take the plunge with 5 coming out, and how much I've been playing Forza just now to invest in a steering wheel. So I got the Logitech G920 steering wheel, pedal, and the gear shifter for playing it. And holy shit, does that make the game so much more difficult until you figure out all the settings you need to calibrate. Wow.
Is it kind of like, can you can't really power slide game you've got to play?
Oh no, you could definitely drift. I've like the drifting.
I say is drifting easier with it? Or?
Oh yeah, once you have the right settings, the game becomes not easier, but more the way that you would expect it to play. Like on a motorway, for example. So in Forza, there's one big motorway where you can do a race called the Juggernaut, and it's a drag race, but it's over about 6 miles of motorway.
Yeah, it's a whole long motorway in Forza 4. Yeah.
So on that, when you're just using the trigger and the stick to like sort of move it on a controller, any sort of like slight movement on your trigger stick, you can like snake the car and smash into the side or hit a tree. With the wheel, you can hold like the position so much better. So you can take the slight, like they're fairly long bends, but they're not particularly like drastically turns. You can like hold them at 250 plus mile an hour and just just power right through the corners and not have to worry about snaking because you've flicked the stick too far right because you were scared that you were going to drift off the track. The one thing I will say is because the steering wheel has force feedback, if you go off road, the force feedback goes into overdrive because you're not on a flat surface. So the whole steering wheel's like bumping left to right constantly. So you're trying to like hold it in position to go straight, but it doesn't want you to drive off road because you're in a car. Why would you be driving across fields?
That's the whole fun of it, then.
Well, yeah. So it takes a bit of while to learn how much to lower that down by so that it's still enjoyable, but not lower it too much that it becomes pointless having it.
Yeah.
I have the one thing I would say is you can pick these up in two bundles. You can pick them up with the gear stick and without the gear stick. And I'll be honest, I haven't really used the gear stick that much. The paddles that are on the back of the steering wheel, I find are much nicer to use, even with the clutch. So you can have the option of using the pedals for accelerator, brake, and clutch, or you can just have them as accelerator and brake, and then not use the clutch, just flick up and flick down, depending on your revs. Even when you're using the clutch, I still feel like the flappy paddles are easier to use than the gear
They're
stick.
better suited to a racing game, aren't they? I think flappy paddles and
It's tricky because it's as someone who's been around a racetrack in a car that's got a manual transmission, you learn when and how to change gear on a racetrack. But for some reason I can't seem to get into I can't seem to enjoy it as much using the gear stick as I would do in like a normal car. Like I don't like a flappy paddle gearbox in a real car. I prefer a gear stick. But when I'm gaming, the flappy paddles are nicer. It almost makes it feel. This is gonna sound terrible. It makes it feel more like you're in Fast and the Furious and things like that. Like you're bouncing off the red line and you like flick up a gear and you're like,
Like Vin Diesel.
and then you flick it again and you're away. And it just feels nicer using the flappy paddles instead of using the gear stick. But no, it's been a great investment. I've now had it on. I've played Forza with it. I've played Motorsport 7 with it. I've played Formula 1 2019 with it. And I've played them both on the Xbox and the PC. And it's just such a great experience using the steering wheel. The F1 game in particular goes from being a good game to being absolutely outstanding using a steering wheel.
Which ones you got again?
The Logitech G920.
and how much was on them City back?
So if you go for it without the gear shifter, it's £209. If you go for it with the gear shifter, it's £250.
Cool.
But I would say the gear shifter isn't necessarily needed.
Yeah. And is that just you said use it on Xbox and PC? Is it can you use it on PlayStation as well, or is it just
No? So the G920 is Xbox and PC exclusive. The G29 is a PlayStation. It's the exact same wheel, but PlayStation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like if
you gotta get the right one basically?
yeah. So basically on that one there, you've got like the Xbox button just at the bottom.
Of course, yeah.
That one there, on the other one's a PlayStation button, and then like a couple of the bits of livery on the middle bar are blue for the PlayStation colours. But apart from that, they're the exact same wheel.
But it's been a solid investment so far.
Yeah, definitely. And I can only see me starting to use it even more. With the amount of time that I'll put into Forza 5 when it comes out, the next Formula 1, the experience of play. I like racing games as it is, but this is taking it to the next level for me because it's not as arcadey as like a Daytona 500 type racing game at the arcades. Getting the arcade games mentioned in this week again.
Bit of Sega Rally going on.
Yeah, it's not like Sega Rally. It's not like the Sega Rally when you had the Lancia Delta and the Toyota Corolla games. It's not as arcadey type feeling as that, but it adds another layer to the game. You feel much more involved playing with the wheel. So like every little mistake is amplified because you feel like I'm using a steering wheel. So if this goes wrong, it's because I messed up, not because my thumbstick sensitivity is just it's not realistic to the real world because it's only a thumbstick. So how can it tell the angle I'm meant to be trying to take this corner at? Whereas if you're doing it with a wheel, it is.
You sort of got that sort of, as you said, with the feedback as well. You sort of
exactly you feel the rumble of the road in your hand constantly. So it makes racing games even better than that. And if you're seriously into racing games, I cannot recommend getting a wheel enough. And that's only in the week that I've had it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pete's got one. What one's Pete got?
Pete's got the
same one as me. Yeah, I've messaged Pete messaged on Trello saying about it, and I've spoke to him about like different settings for different games. But that's what's good. You get on the PC, you get dedicated software, so you can click it. It's like if you've got like a gaming keyboard or a gaming mouse, you can
Yeah.
go in and you can tweak all your sensitivities and things like that. So you can do that.
Yeah,
for
I've got one of my keyboard, a PC
Yeah.
keyboard. It's got Logitech, and it's
So-
got extra buttons, and you obviously tweak it per game you launch.
Yep. So the
Turns on those buttons.
the G hub, what you use for your Logitech software, is the exact same hub that you use for the wheel. And then you can go in and like the wheel has 900 degrees that it can monitor, but that's for like extreme professionals. So you can tone it down that it's like, I think they recommended for beginners is like 400 degrees that it picks up, so that you don't have to be spinning the wheel like 2.5 times just to go round the corner sideways.
Yeah.
So it means that you can literally jump into a game, see if you like it. If not, load up Logitech software on the PC, change what you need to change, and then jump back into the game. And you don't have to reset the game or nothing like that. It just picks up the new settings. And
Happy
then
days.
in the Xbox version, 90% of the options are in the in-game menu. So again, like I was saying about the sensor of how far it can measure, in Forza you've got in the controls menu you can change it from, I think it's, as I was saying, 900 down to whatever setting you want it to change. So the software is easily changeable for if you ever want to swap between games.
Nice.
Happy days. I'm a big fan of peripherals. I bought a steering wheel for the 360 to play Sega Rally actually.
Mhm.
And I was shit. So
Yeah.
Scrap it.
I did a couple of races. Like, this isn't for me. That was 100 quid down the drain.
But no, I'm hoping if my week is not anywhere near as hellish as it was last week with how busy I was, to get a proper nice product review done of the steering wheel. So I've invested.
Yeah, racing gloves as well.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Got some goggles.
Damn right. So I've invested in nice little camera arms to get a nice top-down view of the steering wheel when I'm using it. So fingers crossed that all comes together in the next 7 to 10 days.
Happy days. We shall look out for that on our YouTube channel, which is
Xbox Tavern Official.
there we go. Which is where you're watching this if you're watching right now.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop.
Cool.
Click that
All right.
subscribe button.
Click subscribe, hit the bell, ding ding, and I don't know, send down a fan mail at
No.
Fan mail, yeah. To I was going to give it his personal email address.
I was
But that
gonna-
might be a
yeah,
bit too
let's
far.
Let's not.
somewhere in Northampton, somewhere or nearabouts. Anyway, so that's what we've been playing this week. Yeah, video games. Good. Anything else anyone wants to talk about?
It's coming home.
Oh, why did I open up for that fucking
Yeah. Why have you
nonsense
done
again?
it every
I'm sorry, Ross.
freaking
I'm sorry,
time?
Ross.
If you please tweet at Chaotic UI, it's coming home. That'd be appreciated.
Yep.
Even if England lose, just keep tweeting at him.
No.
Keep it going.
or gifts of Scotland going home on the aeroplane.
Why, like, this is the thing, right? Why do you think the Scotland going out annoys me? I know we're shit. I was fucking blown away that we made it to the tournament. So anything even just taking part was a massive success for the 5.5 million Scots.
And they did it, and they did very well, as I understand, except for they went out very early. But
Yes, we did.
we'll pass over that. All right, so very quickly on the site, we got some reviews up. So we got Scarlet Nexus review by Varno, who gave it an 8.5. Very good. Anime Games. And then we got Spirit of the North Enhanced Edition by Ross, who gave it 7.4. And then I played a game called Curve Space, kind of like a twin stick bullet hell shooter. It's all right, but it wasn't the best game I've ever played. So you could do that. You could check that out. That would be wonderful. And then we got obviously what Ross's weekly news dump, which went up on a Wednesday. Do you want to give some headlines, Ross?
So what do we have in this week? We had the Cyberpunk devs are happy with where the current game is, regardless of what PlayStation Store are saying. We have a massive new spike in people jumping back in Mass Effect Andromeda. People who have jumped on the Legendary Edition are now seeing why Andromeda wasn't as loved as it maybe should be, or why it was hated as much as it was.
Minus
And
the bugs.
minus the bugs, yep. And last but not least, just the accessibility of how many people are now accessing xCloud, because they've now opened up for nearly everybody that can get access to it.
Which is wonderful. And we shall all cloud game together.
Quick question.
Yes.
Segue into a news article I just seen. Did anyone hear about Apex Legends being hacked by saying save Titanfall? because Titanfall's getting hacked.
That's awesome.
So apparently, I've just seen this article now. Apex Legends was got hacked. Same time you finish a match, or you go into the store, or if you go to the firing range, it will say "Save Titanfall" #Save Titanfall. So hackers have hacked Apex because hackers are hacking Titanfall.
Excellent.
As you do.
I just saw it trending on Twitter. I was like,
Yeah,
"What's going on here?"
I saw it trending earlier on, but I didn't really click into it. I figured it was just like an anniversary or something. But yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah, I just thought it was quickly segue into that because that's ridiculous. Hackers hack a game because hackers are hacking their game.
Sounds like the internet, to be fair.
the internet is
yeah.
working as intended.
Yeah.
But play Titanfall, please, because Titanfall is amazing. I think it's on
Titanfall is
sale
awesome.
again in a minute, isn't it? Titanfall 2.
If you got Game
I
Pass,
was going to say some Game
I
Pass.
was on Game Pass even. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Even cheaper if you haven't got Game Pass, because for £1 for 3 months, you can get Game Pass.
Woohoo.
Let's do this. So Titanfall, good stuff.
And more to the point, are we getting onto the Game Pass, Project Game Pass this week?
Yeah, we did it.
No, I mean, are us collectively going to be on it this
I'll be
week?
playing it most days because I'm doing the seasons. So
Yeah.
I will be available to play it at the weekend because I'm not putting on my Series S because I haven't got enough space on my Series S to put it on.
So,
We've got
I
Gears
won't be
next
here.
play.
Yeah.
So
I'll be playing it before I go to bed.
so
help me
Daniel
sleep.
is not. Oh, the weekend. Where are you the weekend?
I've got a wedding. Is that right, boss?
No.
Sorry.
On a
do we need to
Sunday?
sync- do
Can
we
you
need to
explain-
sync calendars?
Can you-
wedding on a
Hey,
Sunday?
wait, you got Project Game Pass? Not Project XCloud.
Yeah.
I do, but I've got a wedding to go to. I also
Take your
have a
controller.
final to watch.
Yeah, you won't be in it, so it's irrelevant.
Well, Tuesday. I'm going to watch the Mighty Italians.
So what, the team that's going to win it?
Yeah, but it's lucky that my mum's Italian.
I've also just seen. I was going to suggest Wednesday like a normal week, and I've just realised that 8
No
o'clock's
chance.
the England Denmark game.
Yeah, no
so
chance,
That's,
I'm out.
Yeah, that's out for that one.
What about Friday? Let's do Friday, yeah?
Friday there's the third place playoff.
Oh, who cares about football?
That doesn't exist anymore, does it?
Does it not? They're not doing it.
I didn't think they were doing it for the.
Oh, in which
Euros.
case, yeah, Friday works.
Let's keep going through the podcast, guys. I'm
Yes, Forza.
Do you want
Friday.
to wrap up time? Oh, he's missing.
But I'll tell you what, how about
on the door.
just to bring it back into the podcast, we'll stream it, shall we? We'll
Yes.
stream us playing Forza and the carnage that will ensue on Friday night at, say, 8:30.
Yeah, Dan, I need to speak to you about that as well. So that's, yeah.
okay.
And Ross, I need to ask you a favour when we're done here, but when we're finished. Right.
Go for it.
Yes,
Alright.
Project Game Pass. Check it out Friday. YouTube.com/Xbox Tavern
Official.
official.
Hashtag it's coming home.
Hashtag let's move on. So Graham, Games of Gold, let's do it.
Right. So we have Planet Alpha from July the 1st to the 31st. Rock of Ages 3, Make and Break from July the 16th to August the 15th. Conquer Live and Reloaded from July the 1st to the 15th. And Midway Arcade Origins from July the 16th to the 31st.
Another stellar month.
As always.
Rock of Ages is all right. It's not the greatest game in the world, but it'll do. Same with Conquer and Planet Alpha. Yeah, happy days. Anyone interested in any of them?
Not really. Not for me. I'm
Is
afraid.
Conquer not meant to be really good?
It was like years ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
when
okay.
it first came out, because it was an N64 game, and then they remade it for the Xbox, which is the one that's on there now. Cool. And then we'll skip over Game Pass editions this week because there's nothing really added new this week, is there, Ross?
The big ones are coming up soon. There is a lot of big games coming up in July, so look
Towards the end
forward
of
to
the
them.
month. Yes, including Microsoft Flight Simulator,
Oh yeah!
where we shall
Can't wait to play that.
fly planes around Glasgow with banners coming out the back saying it's coming home.
Gee,
I'm sorry, Russ. Why do I join in? I don't care. Why do I
Yeah,
join
it's
in?
bad enough. I've just looked down on fucking Graham's Zoom fucking name and realised that he's put it in Gaelic, fucking German and French, saying it's coming home.
I wonder what that was.
Yeah, no. The thing is, I looked at the Gaelic one, I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I looked at the German and realised, you bastard.
So you understood German more than Scottish
Yeah.
game.
That's one end, yes.
All right, well, let's get out of here so we can leave Ross in peace. We have been Xbox Tavern, where we are at xboxtavern.com. At Xbox Tavern on Twitter, you can follow Graham at
Graham Reaper.
Ian,
30
Gruff,
At Chaotic UI.
and Dan.
Chocolate about 80.
And yes, thank you very much. Give us a like and a subscribe and all that wonderful stuff. And we will see you again next Sunday.
And don't forget to send KTUI. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming.
If it does indeed come home, it'll be me and Gruff next
Football's
week.
coming home.
See if England go out. See next week on the podcast. Oh,
I might not be alive.
très magnifique.
I think it will still just be me and you because they'll be all
Yeah,
too-
they'll be hiding.
I'll be watching the final regardless. So yeah, I'll be hiding.
Well, Wednesdays can go out. Thursday, I'm day off. I am coming down to England with the Scotland flag, the Danish flag, everything. Just everything.
See you in the
And
crowd.
then you'll be getting the. Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah, that'd be
thank you very much. We've been a pleasure. We've been a pleasure.
We've been a pleasure?
We've been a pleasure.
You have been a pleasure.
Yeah.
We are
yeah.
always a pleasure.
Always. And have a wonderful week, everybody.
See you later.
Bye.
Love
Bye.
you all.
See you later, folks.
It's coming home.
It's not.
Recording stopped.